Hi, how are you? Welcome to Living in the Light, and I'm Mary Amy, and I'm all about shifting away darkness, guiding you to your truest potential, and cracking open that beautiful glowing light in your heart. Oh my gosh, here we are. It's Friday. Last week and this week has felt like forever to me, and I said I have to do another live because I only got to one this week, and I apologize. And I guess it's because my job in the Matrix is just so busy that now I'm just consumed with that and I'm exhausted. Oh, something popped out of the printer. Hold on. You know I like visuals. I'm all about the visuals. And Elsa is definitely showing improvement. She's walking up the stairs now. She's definitely doing much better. If anyone wants to know, Elsa's my little Havanese, and she usually joins us back here on the couch. But she's right here now. She's okay. All right, here we are. We're at Friday. How's everyone doing? Anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's not going to be a long show tonight because I just have all of my household tasks to do. All right, so tonight we're going to cover topics like the end of America as we know it, the Pleiadians' mission, and I'm going to really begin to speak a little bit more about extraterrestrials because I believe since there is so much disclosure coming out right now about what's really been going on, all the corruption, the lies, the deception that we've basically been given our whole entire life in the Matrix. The next that's going to happen is that we're going to all hear all about the extraterrestrials. And so we're going to kind of cover that a little bit. But let's first mention, like we always do, because I find that it's important, and the astral world is really giving me a lot of positivity now. My dreams are super positive, and I wake up and I don't want to get out of bed. I want to sleep some more, and I love it. I don't know how it's going for you. So I suggest that we all write down our dreams as soon as we wake up, because if we don't do it the moment we wake up and keep track of it, we lose it. It's like a flash of information, and there might be something there. And at the time, it's almost as though when I'm writing it down, I'm remembering it. And then later in the day, I say, I don't even remember what my dream was. And I go back and I look at it and I say, oh, well, there's a nugget. There's some information there that I need to know. Or it's basically closure. I've been having a lot of closure dreams, and some of the individuals from my lifetime have shown up in my dreams most recently, and I haven't even had any interaction with them, but it's as though my system is just ending that. You know, I was having some conversation today about this exact subject, about having closure on relationships. And it can be like, we're not necessarily saying it's a romantic relationship. It might be a friendship. And you can't quite get this person out of your life, or there's some kind of residual emotions that are left, and it might even have caused you distress. And we have to really be conscious of this and be aware, because it's not going to just automatically leave. You have to let it go, or you have to get through it. You have to dispel anything that hurt you, embrace it, and move forward. And that's how we're going to move forward to the light. And that's why this is Living in the Light, and I'm coming live from New York right here. So wherever you're coming from, if you haven't already shared that with me, tell me, because I like to keep track and I like to know who's here. And we're a little community here. It's grassroots. And I'm all about sharing topics that are going on in the world that I find that are relevant or helpful. And maybe it's a little bit of a rabbit hole. I am a truth seeker. And then I also like to share ways to connect to your inner world, your inner self. Because like I say, you can't control anything out here in this physical reality, but you can control yourself. And let's try to find our own personal happiness. I also am going to mention how important our thoughts are, because they're very powerful, and you can create and you can change an outcome just by your thoughts. And if you're having thoughts of something very negative, and this is impossible, and I can't do it, it's never going to happen, that's the energy and the emotions that you're attaching to those thoughts, and you're actually bringing all the bad stuff to you. And you're going to make that happen. You're going to make it be bad. Or you can have thoughts like I do, where I'm ultra positive, which sometimes backfires on me. However, most of the time, it just carries me to, I guess, the next milestone, the next point in my life. And when I finally give up, like today, I felt very defeated. I felt very defeated today. And I think I'm just tired. And maybe you are too. I'm just tired of the same thing. It doesn't seem as though there's much change. And I know I'm being a little pessimistic right now, but I'm just being real with you that I too have days where I'm like, oh, is the good stuff going to happen yet? And maybe that's just, I'm overwhelmed because it's Friday. I don't know. And then last, I want to mention intention. Our intentions are very important because we want to have a commitment to do our best. And why do we want to have a commitment to our best? Because we hope for a happy ending, good times, good luck. Like I say, light on the horizon. I'm always looking through this rectangular window, and through the window I see that the sun is rising right before me, and it brings and drops a spark of light into me. And it reminds me how beautiful nature is and how I should have gratitude for this moment. So together, let's have gratitude for this moment right now. Let's be grateful that we're here, and let's acknowledge that we have 3 authentic characteristics. Have you reminded yourself lately of your 3 authentic characteristics that make you a genuine being of light? And remind yourself that you're a worthy being, you're cherished, you're loved. Doesn't matter what you have, doesn't matter what you look like, doesn't matter where you live, it doesn't matter what you do. You are as is right now. You are worthy in this moment right now. And accept that about yourself. Okay, so moving on, the end of America. Have we hit the end of the America as we know it? It's a little bit of a quagmire, because we all say, oh, we're like, I say I'm a patriot, I'm American. And I think our belief system of what we thought America was just isn't what it was or has been. So the end of America as we know it, and that's going to be a good thing, because the America that we've been living in, we've been wearing, like, the goggles, the rose-colored glasses, and we've been maybe picturing something that doesn't exist. But we are creating this beautiful new civilization that's going to be the America that we want. The America that we've had is full of corruption and deception and treason. And we're discovering that there are many, I shouldn't even say the word a lot, there are many individuals that are in cahoots with each other that have been leading us down, basically sheeps to be slaughtered. Get in line and just walk in the direction that they want us to walk in. And who made them in charge? And how did they get all their wealth? They set up all the rules. They played all the rules of the game against us. And we thought, oh, if I work really hard, I can get my 2 weeks vacation a year, a few sick days, pay my taxes, and then after 40 or 50 years, I can retire. And then a few years later, pass away. Doesn't sound like much fun. That's not the America I want to live in. I want to live in an America that's free. It's about nature. It's organic. It's about creativity, having fun, love, peace. I don't want to always be looking over my shoulder for a villain or someone to knock me out of my step. I want to create my destiny, and I want it to come true right now. I don't want to wait 30 or 40 or 50 years. That seems silly. Are they waiting 40 or 50 years? I don't think so, because they have all the goods. They have all the currency. They have all the net worth. Are we ever going to achieve that? I don't think we can, because we weren't the originals in this civilization. We weren't here first. They created all the rules. They had all the bloodlines and the wealthy families and the gold. So now we're taking it all back. Now we are going to have the America that we want to have. Now, lately, there's a lot going on in, I guess, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, and we're having all this disclosure. And when I say disclosure, what do I mean? We're revealing the truth. We're revealing something that was behind closed doors that we didn't know was happening. And I was just watching a video, which I was surprised that it looked like it was on one of the mainstream media channels, and it was related to the Biden's LLCs and how they had 20 plus businesses. They have, at least they've discovered right now, 20 plus businesses, but I didn't know that they had a business, because the business they are in is politics. And they've concealed a lot of money. So that's what's going on. And we wonder if that was really going to come out, or they were going to hold that back and protect the Bidens. But now it looks like they're going to be right in the middle of view. So the disclosure is coming out right now, because I had been hearing on Rumble that was going to be held off, and they were going to kind of not, I guess, be accounted for maybe 6 months. But now it looks like the Biden LLCs are coming forward. So the government has overturned, there's a shadow government that's overturned, I guess, all of the laws and I guess the people. And I don't know if you saw this. I'm going to show you that yes, 2 days ago, there was an upside down flag at the Capitol. I don't know if anyone saw that. So this is what they saw. And then someone on Drano on Twitter posted it. And then Newsweek said, yes, it's true. And there's an upside down flag, which is a signal of distress. And it was at the Capitol, a signal of distress, instances of extreme danger or life. Now here, of course, is how the flag is supposed to look. And this is what the flag, you can see, the flag's upside down. And that's not a good thing. And what is happening right now? Well, it looks as though we're going to kind of go into a world, or we're going to have, I guess, our culture, our physical reality is going to shift pretty quickly, it seems now. And with the Durham report I mentioned a few days ago, and they discovered that the FBI, the CIA, the DOD, they were involved in creating election propaganda in 2020. And there was these U.S. government branches involved. And so that's come out. Here's more disclosure. It seems as though every day there's more disclosure. And if you look at the mainstream media, some of these major cable outlets and even some of the main television channels, they're not really putting that in the forefront. They're not sharing with the public how dire this situation is, or you could say how deceitful. And you kind of have to go off the beaten track and look at some of these other I guess, networks or platforms to find out some of what's really going on. And it's not possible really to be talking about this on some of those news stations because they are corrupt and it's not the dialogue or the agenda that they want to portray. Now, it seems as though CNN has kind of switched gears a little bit, and it might just be a gradual process to keep their viewers and then to just show them disclosure slowly. And that's kind of what it looks like is happening right now. And to me, I just got a little bit distressed today and I got frustrated because I want the change to happen more rapidly and it's not. And it's a little exhausting. So bear with me. Because usually I have a lot of patience, and today I don't have much patience. I'm just tired, I guess. We know, and I've mentioned how there's been spying on us, spying on the citizens and trying to persuade the people to hate each other, and this divide, to create this divide among us. And sometimes we get riled up, and maybe you have a very strong opinion about something, and you go out into the physical reality, the physical world, and someone kind of agitates you and you start to kind of blow a gasket and get kind of raged or upset. And then you might start to have some kind of negative emotions for this person. I'm going to remind you right now to try, and I'm doing it myself too, to try to say, this person, we're all one. We're all pieces of a whole. We're all connected. And try, rather than to either have these negative emotions, maybe pull back and try instead to just come from a place of neutrality where you're an observer and you don't get all agitated, and even try to just accept them and love them. Because the quicker that we all do that, the quicker we're going to go to a place of love and light, to a place of a higher consciousness, to a place that we are more connecting inwardly. And I know that it seems as though we're being pit up against each other, because we are. There's a lot of hate being spewed. But if we raise our vibration and we raise our consciousness and we try to stay in a place of love, if we tune into our heart, and like I said before, you tune inward and imagine, if it's difficult to get to a place of love and light, imagine that you connect with and remind yourself of someone that you love or they hold dear to your heart, someone that you cherish, and then it will change your energy, it will change your mood, and maybe you won't want to battle someone else or debate someone else. And it's a process. It takes time. It takes time to get to a place where we let go of some of this toxic energy that we've had, or I guess perspective, because we've been brainwashed and we were raised to believe that's the only way to be. So the fact that there was this upside down flag is a very public way of showing us, hey, Ghost Knight, hi. Someone on the inside is sending us a message, which to me, I always say, look for signs. And this week has been filled with signs. At my place, my job in the Matrix, yesterday, I don't know what happened to you, but yesterday there was this influx of energy. There was some very strange individuals that I met that just were not the norm, that came into my place of work, and it confused me, and I was baffled. And I ended up meeting a friend last night, which was kind of good after a day of just complete like disarray. It felt like it felt as though that there was different energy swarming. I'm not saying it was dark energy. It was just unusual. And it might be because in the physical reality, there's so much of disharmony. There is so much of, I guess, change going on because we are creating this new reality. There's a lot of intentional symbolism out there, and we just got to take the hints. Yes, I agree with you. So this to me is a sign, the fact that they had this sign, this flag upside down at the Capitol. And are there those in the Capitol actually working, or is this all CGI that we're watching? Is this an AI creating videos? I don't quite know. Is it real? I don't know when things were created. If this is all, I'm not saying this flag because this was true yesterday or 2 days ago. I'm saying some of what we're seeing out there on the social media, and I haven't been really watching the social media as much because I don't know, it's starting to get a little boring because it's the same stuff and it's upsetting and distressing. Now, this weekend, before I get on to the Pleiadians' message, this weekend, I don't know if you realize, it's the Bilderberg meeting, the secretive Bilderberg meeting, which they've been having these meetings since 1954. And it was a real hush-hush thing. And who was going to these meetings? Leaders. And it's like they were coming together, or they've been coming together to make decisions for us. Here are all these individuals that are going to tell us what to do because they say they're in a position of power. You know, I'm getting a little sick of it all. There's not that many of them. Let's be done with them all. You guys go over there and you can go all have your own little like society together, and we will just all come together in love and light. And you guys can go over there and bother each other. But this Bilderberg meeting is an annual group that gets together, and they have an agenda, and it relates to what's going to happen to us. They form all of these. Hey, music! It's time to build a better burger. Yes, it is. I don't know if we can eat the burgers because what's in the burgers? I was listening to, getting off topic for a second. I was listening to this video, I guess it was yesterday, on Rumble. And you can watch this Patriot Underground. And you can't see his face, but you hear his voice. And he interviews, and he does sometimes this long monologue, and he covers a lot of these white hat missions, and the white hats and the dark and the black hats, or you want to say the deep state, the elite cabal. And he talks about what's been going on. And he had this man on, he interviewed a few days ago, or it was yesterday. I listened to it yesterday. And he spoke about how there's been different programs and experiments for 20, 30, 40 years where they're genetically intertwining like a lab hamster, a lab rat with a plant, and then they grow the plant, and then the plant has teeth, the plant has feet. It's really sick stuff. I mean, this is how they created Monsanto. And Monsanto was doing all of these genetically modified foods, like what's really in our foods. And now it's just freaking me out. When I went to the store today and I'm saying, what's in that? What's in that? I'm scared to eat anything because I don't know what's in it. What's it made out of? And I don't even know why I brought this up. I guess because I was bringing up the different videos, but it's fascinating. And it's a little bit, I guess, alarming because we're so naive. I'm so over these truthers and white hat, black hat crap. We create our own. Okay, that's good music. I like it. We are creating our own reality. The white. No, I mean we're just hoping that they're getting rid of some of this evil, and we know it's going because there's more and more disclosure. And this Bilderberg meeting, they speak about capitalism. It's 120 to 150 politicians, elites. Allegedly, the chairman of Pfizer is going to be at this Bilderberg meeting this weekend. Stacey Abrams, the OpenAI CEO I mentioned the other day, who said maybe we should regulate AI. There's going to be some World Economic Forum members at this Bilderberg meeting. Boy, it sounds like fun, doesn't it? Don't we all want to go there? I would say, I don't know, I'd like say, let's dig a hole right here and you guys all jump in. That's it. Bye. That's what I would say. Okay, moving on. And so the end of America as we know it, we know the banks, still the stocks are down. The debt ceiling, are they going to raise it? And if they do, it's only temporary because they're basically borrowing, and there's no money to borrow from. The end of Title 42. Is there going to be some kind of border reform? And what's happening at this border, letting in and these children and these women, and who's watching out for them? And it worries me. A meeting of minions. Wow, you're as angry as I am today, music. I don't know if I'm angry. I'm just exhausted from it all. And then, the CIA and the FBI and the DOD involved in the Durham report and all this election propaganda. Well, oh my gosh. Have we been living in a free society, a democratic society? I don't think so. We've had our mouths covered. We're not allowed to tell our truth. I don't know when before I'm going to be banned from YouTube. Who knows what's going to happen? Michael De La Rocca, he has a huge following, thousands. They took down 25 of his videos this week, Michael De La Rocca. And he said, I don't know what's going on. They've been up for years, some of them, and they've taken them down. So there's definitely some censorship on YouTube now. And I see a lot of those that I've been following, a lot of those having their own shows and podcasts are leaving and going to Rumble because they're not permitted to say their truth. And when I tried to upload to Rumble, I couldn't upload. So I don't know what to say. Here I am on YouTube. Not angry, just tired. Yeah, me too. Push me into a stream of consciousness. Yeah, I know. Okay. All right, so that's enough of that. Anybody who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel because, like I said, I'm not going to be here too late. It's already 9 o'clock, and I have to do my laundry tonight. It's laundry night. All right, so the Pleiadians. The Pleiadians are on a mission, and they've been on a mission. They are light beings. They are light-bodied beings. And do you ascend? Are you genetically an extraterrestrial? They say, I've been hearing and I've been reading, when I say they say, it's from many sources. When I say they, it's not the. There are many sources that are telling the public or sharing information stating that we descend from at least one extraterrestrial, a part extraterrestrial. I don't know if you believe that. There are a species of extraterrestrials called the Pleiadians. And the Pleiadians are these very benevolent, celestial. It almost sounds as though the more I read about the Pleiadians, the more it seemed as though they were describing angels. So their energy is pure like an angel. It's very uplifting. And this is what's his name? Ashtar. His name is something Commander Ashtar. And so Pleiadians are off planet. And are you a Pleiadian star seed? Share. I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Have you been connected to or communicated with telepathically or in person in the physical realm? with an extraterrestrial. So the Pleiadians have this mission, and I'm well aware of it. The Galactic Federation of Light, they're connected to the Galactic Federation of Light, and there are star seeds, and star seeds are incarnated on this earth during this time to help usher in this new consciousness and to save humanity from evil. And star seeds live all over the planet, and they've basically had a soul contract to incarnate here at this time to help awaken humanity during this time. And star seeds originate off planet from a star system. So Pleiadians are from Pleiades. I don't think we are descended from Pleiadians or any other race. We are these ancient ancestors. There you go, music. I'm just putting it out there. It's whatever you personally believe. Just sharing information. So these beings are advanced spiritually, and they carry wisdom, and they have a mission to serve humanity. And many hold a higher vibration with healing abilities of peace and compassion. Now, I don't know if you sense within you that you're someone, maybe you're empathic, maybe you're not. I'm just asking, I'm putting it out there. Are you someone that has always looked out for the more vulnerable, the weaker, and gave a helping hand, and maybe looked out if someone was in a vulnerable position, you tried to give them aid, and maybe it's a senior citizen, an older person, or a child, or a little creature, an animal. Maybe you're a starseed, maybe you're empathic. And starseeds carry a higher vibration, and they are healing. Their energy is very healing, and they have, I guess, the capacity to reach the fifth dimension. Now, we are all right now in transition. We're in the fourth dimension. We're in the middle. We've left the third. We've left the physical realm. Most of us have left the physical realm. At least part of us have. Part of our being has. And we're in this transition where we're engaging with, we have 1 foot, I guess, in the past and 1 foot in the future, and we're in the middle. We're in the moment, and we're learning, and we're transitioning, and we're transforming. And it's not an overnight thing. I know there's possibly going to be this solar flash that comes, and the whole globe is going to be covered with light, and those who haven't awakened will instantly awaken. And it's going to be a big shock. If in fact that happens, some kind of divine event, and people are awakened and say, oh my gosh, I don't believe the mainstream media anymore. Or I realize that there's a lot of deception out there, and treason, and con men. Right now, we are actually in the moment. It's a very beautiful moment where we can be awakened and learn about who we really are, and in our inner life, our inner world. And that's what's going on right now. Now, Pleiadians are known to travel in light, and they are masters of interdimensional travels. And they have powerful energy, and they raise the consciousness awareness of the earth. So I don't know if you've had any connection to any Pleiadians. Sometimes these words, starseed, Pleiadians, Arcturians, Andromedans, they activate your DNA and you become awakened. Maybe you have a spiritual awakening through meditation. I don't know, but it's possible, because it awakened me to some degree hearing these terms. When I was speaking with Jilly Clark a few years ago, she mentioned starseed, she mentioned Pleiadians, she mentioned Andromedans, and I woke up. I basically awakened. And These beings are here, I guess, to bring light, like I practice with you, a ball of light. And I say, let's make a ball of light. Let's rub our hands together, and we're bringing light. And this is not something that I was programmed to do. This is not something that you normally find out. You don't go out into the physical reality, at least ours, this simulation, this 3D matrix, and people are walking around saying, yeah, let's rub our hands together and create a ball of light. It was just something that sparked inside of me. I must have heard it or read about it, and then I just started doing it. And that's kind of how you operate as soon as you awaken. You start to have information resonate with you, and then you just start spewing it out and saying it. And there's no validation. There's no proof of what I'm saying, but somehow I just continue to repeat it. So there's powerful energy and light that's raising our consciousness right now, right in this moment. Here we are together, and our consciousness is raising. We're becoming more aware. We're looking at things from a different perspective. You might go into like a little moment where you just sink into the norm of what you've been doing. And then something will spark inside of you, or a situation or a word, or maybe a light code will be activated within you. Maybe you'll hear a tone. And then all of a sudden you're back on your way to a higher consciousness and a higher awareness. So there's this internal connection that you can have with an extraterrestrial. There's an internal connection and there's an external connection. Now, we will become aware of our non-physical body more and more, and realize our physical body. Like, we'll make definitely a distinction between the two. And it's funny, when I was reading about this, I truly know about my inner life, but just reading about it, I said, oh, wow. Okay, here's the physical, right? The physical realm. Here's my physical body. But then there's this inner realm that I have, this inner life that I have. And how are you going to connect, if you are going to connect, to the extraterrestrials? And what I mean by that is, there are those out there that say, oh my gosh, it's all about seeing a UFO. And then I'm going to connect with extraterrestrials, or they say aliens, from a UFO. It's physical. So I have to go look for a UFO. Now, this actually were photographs. Supposedly, these are real photographs from someone in the 1970s called Billy Meyer. And he claimed he had contacts with the Pleiadians, and he shared these photographs. There's also some videos online on YouTube, a documentary, which I plan on watching tonight. Now, he claims, Billy Meyer, that he met the Pleiadians when he was 5 years old, and he continued to speak to them throughout his life. And so he's considered a contactee. There are contactees that say that they have met up or seen, been abducted, had contact with a UFO, which is in the physical realm. And there are those that say that they've been in contact with extraterrestrials in the inner world, in their body, within their body. So it's their higher consciousness. And they've met up in the spiritual realm. So Pleiadians' energies are a message of light. They're messengers of light, and they have a message of light. They're all about bringing light into the world. And that's what Pleiadians. So this was something that came about for me to talk about. Yesterday, I realized I posted it. And I said, I have to do a video about the Pleiadians. That's what's resonating with me right now. What does this say? Bringers of the Dawn is a great, almost essential read. Okay, thank you. I'm writing that down right now, music. Bringers of the Dawn. Bringers of the Dawn. It's so funny that when we start to focus on a subject, then everything comes through. As soon as I decided about the Pleiadians, all of a sudden, all of this extraterrestrial, all this UFO videos came forward for me. As within, so without. And so we are realizing that maybe you are, that there are other beings besides us. Now, maybe you're not a believer and you say, oh, come on, there's no such thing as an extraterrestrial. But maybe you say, oh, I do believe there's angels, or I do believe in Jesus or God, or I do believe in spirits speaking to those who have passed. I believe in something else. It's not everything or nothing. It's not always or never. It's whatever resonates with you. It's okay. It's a personal belief system, an idea, whatever is right for you. And that's it. There's no kind of, you have to believe this or you don't have to believe this. It's whatever is right for you. And that's how because we're all individuals and we all have to have our own beliefs and our own expression. I'm just bringing up subjects that I find to be interesting or relevant. So Pleiadians' energies are very positive. They're benevolent. They have pure heart. They're like angel-like. They're a ray of light. They like the family, have unconditional love, and they have wisdom. And so the Pleiadians' mission right now, and has been always, is for humanity to reach a higher consciousness, to come from a place of love, to be at peace. I keep hearing something in this right ear right now. It's very interesting. It's like other dimensional. It's like flapping of wings or something. It's very loud at times. Sorry, I keep getting distracted by it. So these contactees like Bill Meyer, there it is again, believe that UFOs will make contact. And I don't know if you're a believer of UFOs making contact. Hey, Bob Harding! Secret Teachings of All Ages is a must. You guys tonight sharing these books. You know what? It's funny because when I was at my job in the Matrix today, my coworkers were speaking about books to read. And I just, my latest book right now is about Pleiadian light. So this is kind of interesting. I'm going to write these down because sometimes I don't look at the comments for days. A must read. Letters to Starseed, to a Starseed. Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. You guys are awesome that you're sharing this. And they believe, so like getting back to this before we do some psychic phenomenon. So contactees, some believe that you meet a UFO. I mean, you meet extraterrestrials through a UFO, like, let's make contact. I have to see a UFO. I'm waiting to see a UFO. They speak about this radiation, and that worries me, the radiation from the UFO. And then others believe that you can make contact through a higher consciousness. It's through a vibrational field or frequency in the fifth dimension. And they meet you at a soul level inside of you. Now, I personally have had that kind of contact. I have not had a UFO contact. I have not seen a UFO myself. I'm waiting for that moment. I believe one day I will. I know I will. I've met through my consciousness, and I've met hundreds of different extraterrestrials. So I've had that happen to me. And I realize it's so funny because it's so normal to me because it's going on for 2 years now. And I realized this morning when I said, I'm going to talk about Pleiadians, oh my gosh, it's actually an extraordinary phenomenon that has happened to me. And I feel very privileged and I feel very grateful that this has happened to me. What is music saying? Many people say that open contact will be for 2028. Actual contact has been going on. Well, we know that the government has already made contact, and they've actually had contact with many types of extraterrestrials. Of course, the Greys. And are there reptilians living under in inner Earth in these dumbs, tunnels? And I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much off-planet contact we've made, but I suspect we have had quite a bit of that already, and it's just very secret. You know, that title of that book is Secret Teachings of All Ages, and I believe that there's a lot of secrets. Now, we know that the government has basically, and the reason why I think I'm going to get back to this flag, there's been treason going on in the government, and they've been trying to, where they have taken over, and they've been very corrupted. Our government's been very corrupted. And I wonder about, did the Nazis ever lose, and are the Nazis involved? Are they in our government already? I know that there's a connection with the Klaus Schwab with the Nazis. And there was Project Paperclip, where they brought all the, not all of them, but 1,200 scientists from Germany, and they designed NASA. Music says radiation will not be an issue as to perceive. A craft will be close enough to be affected by the radiation. Well, that's good news. Music, have you had a UFO encounter? Anybody here have a UFO encounter? And I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. The more that we bring this up, then the more we're going to have it become close to us in our inner life. Maybe we'll have dreams about it. Maybe we'll connect during our meditations. You might just receive information because you're probably way more gifted than I am. You have these abilities within you, and we're going to get onto psychic phenomenon. I did see something very odd in the sky a week. Really? What did you see, Music? I know it's going to happen, and you say by 2028. I know that I'm definitely going to, in person, in the physical world, see many spacecrafts. I was listening to a doctor of some kind of knowledge about extraterrestrials today, and he spoke about the Bermuda Triangle, and he spoke about how these spaceships can move in and out, where they appear in one location in the sky, and then they disappear and then appear in another, and it has to do with dimensional. They're moving in and out of dimensions, like a star that was still and then moved very quiet. Very cool. Bob Harding. I saw something in the sky back in '93. Okay, so that's why you are all here, because you think out of the box like I do. You realize there's another reality, and that's why. I get it. We're all connected. All right, so let's get on to some psychic phenomenon for a moment. Do you realize that you have these abilities within you, and have you been practicing? Have you tuned into your clairvoyance, your clairsustenance, your claircognizance? Have you discovered exactly what is your clair sense that you can master, and have you mastered it yet? Because as soon as you master one, then bring on another. Or maybe you are a medium or a channeler. You can remote view, whatever it may be. It's going to be personal. You're going to achieve this. If you allow it, you have openness and a willingness to accept it, then you will discover exactly how you can connect with your clairsense. Now, at first, when I started to realize that I had some of these abilities, and I believe because I had that near-death experience, and a few of them, and I had this spiritual connection to angels, to light, to God. I was always a daydreamer. I was creative. I wasn't about numbers. I was about an inner life. And I learned a lot about myself at a young age. And I discovered basically other worlds. And I thought for a long time they were made up worlds, world of make believe, but I believe in some way they were actually another realm. And maybe you've discovered these other realms like I have. And when we do this psychic phenomenon and we close our eyes and we are quiet, because it's about being quiet, because when you're quiet, you realize other energies. And maybe your eyes are open, maybe your eyes are closed. You sense other energies. And that's all we're really discovering when we do this is our senses. We are not tuning into and recognizing any of our thoughts, because sometimes our thoughts are what we see in the physical reality. And when we close our eyes, it might be more beneficial because then you're not seeing something. If you've really truly grasped your clairvoyance, then maybe you can keep your eyes open like I do, and I see another reality. I can see another realm. Like I just saw like some little gopher go down a hole, wherever that is. It's someplace in the world. So when we close our eyes and we let go, and so let's do some right now. So we're going to, if you choose to close your eyes, so you're going to sit comfortably or lay down, let out a breath. And we're going to let go of any tension that we have, because we are trying to just really have stillness and quiet so we can receive information. We can have transmissions. We can have transference. And it might just be a visual. It might be a sound, a voice, a tone. It might very well be that you're going to see someone or something, a situation, a flash of information. It might be light language. It might be someone having a conversation with you. You might see a spirit, another person. There's many possibilities. So just be open to all of it. And then what's supposed to come to you will. Because you are carrying a certain frequency. You carry your own individual frequency. And from that frequency, something else from the same frequency will connect to you. It's just like when you meet a person out in the physical world that you immediately have a kinship with, and you say, oh, it's an instant friend. Oh my gosh, I love you already. Because you're carrying the same frequency. You're communicating on a level that is not through spoken words, it's energetic. And the more that you tune into and you realize exactly who you are, and you work on and you practice these clear senses, then the more of these types of relationships will enter your life. And you'll come from a deeper place, and they will be more fulfilling. All right, so we're going to close our eyes and we're going to let go. We're going to, just have maybe no tension. So maybe you want to tighten up and then let go, and tighten up and then let go. And you're like a rag doll, and you're dropping down and you're pushing away any thoughts, because we're only tuning into our senses right now. And we're going to let go of a breath, and then focus on your breathing, because we want to have some deep breathing. And we're creating stillness, because we're holding space within us. We're having an inner life. We're expanding. We're making room within us for this new world. There's a new inner world that you're creating right now in this moment. So we're going to do some breathing. We're going to 3 breaths. 3 inhales and exhales, okay? So we're going to inhale. And we're holding it. And we're having maybe a 7 or a 9 count. And then we're releasing. Okay, so now I'd like you to drop down into your physical vessel, make contact, focus, have concentration. And now I'd like you to remind yourself to choose one of your clear senses. Maybe it's your hearing, your listening, maybe it's your third eye, maybe it's your heart, your clairsustenance, maybe it's claircognizance, you have a knowing. You have the ability to know something without being told. Maybe your sense of smell, maybe your sense of taste, maybe it's your sense of feeling, your touch. And just choose one of them, at least one. Now, the other day when I did this exercise, I popped over to a different clairsense because my clairaudience wasn't working. So you might want to do that, or maybe tune into at least 2 instead of 1. Now, when we do this, we might receive a flash of information, and you try to stay and have concentration. You try to stay there because it feels a little odd. It's a physical feeling. Stay as long as you can to receive as much information. Okay, so now we're choosing. I'm choosing whatever clairsense, and now I make a suggestion. Now I make a suggestion. And my suggestion tonight is going to be, I'd like you to have the suggestion that you're off planet. You're off planet. Now, maybe you're connecting with the Pleiadians. Maybe you're connecting with another star family. It's entirely up to you. You're off planet. So in other words, you're not on Earth. And that's the suggestion. Okay, so I don't know if you had any kind of experience. Did you receive any information? Did this resonate with you? I was a little hesitant. You could tell I had this idea in my mind to make this a suggestion this evening, and I was hesitating, and I said, I don't know if they're going to want this. However, we're going to do another exercise, and I'll give another suggestion. So did you have an experience? So my experience was, because I always share it with you, was that like my feet were like floating. So I guess there was something related to the gravity aspect, or something related to, it didn't feel like this dimension, I guess you could say. It was very loud what I was hearing. And what I was hearing was, it was almost as though it sounded like when you hear a film strip flipping through and it's at the very end of it. That's the only way I could describe it. It was something it sounded like very technology like, and it was loud. And then I felt like I was tumbling. I felt there was a lot of feeling going on, not so much seeing. It was more though I was tumbling, but in one spot. I wasn't tumbling through the air. I was just in one spot moving. It was interesting. So did anyone else have receive any information? I'm heading to Jupiter Beach. Oh, we'll have a good trip. Yes, the higher the vibration, the more synchronicities. So, okay, so that was my off-planet experience. So let's try something else. Let's try something else. Okay, so for those of you who have activated your third eye, and we've spoken about your clairvoyance, and have you been able to activate your third eye, and are you seeing and maybe communicating with higher consciousness? Have you connected to a higher consciousness yet? And I'd like us to do that right now. Okay, so we're going to relax like we normally do. We're going to let go of any tension. Focus on your breathing. Have some stillness. I think we should imagine, I'm making a suggestion that we imagine light surrounding us right now. For some reason, that's what came through to me. Let's imagine it's almost as though we're sitting in like a sofa or a chair, a round chair that's just light. So we're just dropping into it. So we're protected by this light. We're safe within this light. And it's just this round seat of light. That's what I'm imagining right now. And we're pushing away any thoughts and any doubts that we can do this. And what I'd like us to do now is, I'd like us to drop down into our physical being. And we're letting go of any tension, any doubts, like I said. And now I'd like you to imagine that you're reaching above your head to one aspect of your consciousness. So it's above your head, to one of your chakras, above your crown chakra. And it's about 16 inches above your crown chakra. And you're going to connect to your higher consciousness. So this is an energy that's within you, within your energy field. And you're going to connect to this higher consciousness. And then you're going to remind yourself that it's there, and you're going to attempt to connect to someone else's higher consciousness. You're going to choose someone. This is the suggestion. You're going to choose someone to connect to their higher consciousness. Maybe it's a family member. Maybe it's a coworker. Maybe it's a friend. It's whoever you want it to be. So let's make an attempt. I'm going to be quiet. And I've been doing this lately, so that's why I'm suggesting it for you. I've been connecting to other individuals' higher consciousness. And when you do this, sometimes you can receive information about how they really feel, what's going on. If you have questions, you can communicate with their higher consciousness. So I'm going to be quiet and let's see how this goes. So you're going through all the steps that we normally do. And then the suggestion is to connect to your higher consciousness and then someone else's. Okay, did anyone have any experiences reaching? Okay, what I realized doing this psychic phenomenon this evening is I realized when you reach to your higher consciousness and you are communicating with someone on to their higher consciousness, okay, you are communicating at a certain frequency. So if your frequency does not match their frequency, you have to match it so you can communicate at that level, if that makes any sense. So in other words, your frequency has to come from a place, I guess, of awareness, of perspective, a certain energetic level, and it might take some practice. And I've been doing it now for a few weeks. So if it hasn't worked out for you, just know that it takes practice. Start realizing that you have these abilities. You have this advanced, I guess, you have this advanced technology within you that you are capable of. You're capable of sending telepathic messages. You're capable of realizing information before it has happened. Having premonition dreams. You're capable of all of this. It's just about levels, and it's about having these extrasensory awareness that's within your soul. You have this within your physical and your higher consciousness. You have this within you. So let's just continue to practice. It was lovely being here this evening. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. And I will be back again next week. I'm grateful that I'm here. I have gratitude for this moment. I'm glad I did this live tonight. And I'm suggesting that you also go out there and watch some of these podcasters on YouTube, on Rumble, Patriarch they speak of. There's also Telegraph, which is, I guess it's a way of posting your ideas on Telegraph. I haven't quite figured out how to post, but I can read other people's posts. So tonight we spoke about the end of America as we know it, because we are moving into this fifth dimension. Yes, we are. And I spoke about the Pleiadian's mission, which is about bringing humanity to this higher consciousness. So everyone have a wonderful evening. I'm sending you positivity and light. And let's remind ourselves that we are capable of creating our dreams and our desires, our destiny, and we can bring it forward, and we can just see it. We can close our eyes and we can see it, right? We can see all the parts of it. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it smell like? What is it that you want? You can bring it forward. You can create this beautiful, beautiful dream. Oh, okay, I'm going to have to go now. Hold on. I'm going to call you back in 30 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to spin light, and you're in the middle of it, and you're making a wish. And what does that say? Thank you, music. Thank you, everyone. You're making a wish. I'm spinning light around you. I'm spinning it counterclockwise, and you're in the center, and you're spinning clockwise. And that's a Merkaba, an ancient vehicle, light vehicle, and you can travel to other dimensions. And everyone have a wonderful evening, and I'll be back again next week. I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Be well. Bye.